Pixie!
Hello everyone, Moon Fairy here, and today I'll be bringing you a OU battle versus this guy called Dejuan on the Smogon forums. Now he also has a YouTube channel, so I'll be popping that in the description below, so be sure to check him out. He is a very good battler. He really had me on tenterhooks in this match, and it was really quite frightening. So without further ado, let's go over our teams. So I'm bringing the team that I have been using on BattleSpot for the last two BattleSpot episodes. I've got Lady, the Gardevoir, I have Chain Chomp, the Garchomp, I have Brosif, the Slowbro, couldn't remember his nickname there. I have Goliath, my Choice Scarf Heracross, Thunderous, nicknamed Jin, and finally I have my Heatran Hot Stuff, and he is bringing Ferrothorn. Oh my god, the moment I saw Ferrothorn my heart sank. I hate Ferrothorn with a passion. Hate it, hate it, hate it. And I always seem to have trouble dealing with it. You wouldn't think I would since I had that Heatran chilling in the back there, but seriously this match was such a pain. He also brought Dragonite, he brought along a Jolteon, Tentacruel, Conkeldurr and Charizard. Now I guessed straight away that that would be a Charizard X and not a Charizard Y, because no one in their right mind would bring a Charizard Y with a Ferrothorn, because if the sun gets up, Ferrothorn is screwed, Tentacruel is screwed. Basically, his entire core there would be screwed if he used the sun version of Charizard rather than the dragon version of Charizard. So with that in mind, I chose to be very cautious and lead off with my Gardevoir. Now actually, I just want to mention before we actually start, the Ferrothorn Tentacruel core is so powerful, it is ridiculous. You would not think that Tentacruel is a UU Pokemon. Is it a UU Pokemon or is it RU? I think it might be RU. But seriously, it's ridiculous. Tentacruel and Ferrothorn cover each other's weaknesses like perfectly. They are perfect together. It was so difficult to break that core, and I ended up suffering as a result of it. So without further ado, let's get this battle started. Now like I said, I'm going to be leading off with my Gardevoir. He is going to be leading off with his Charizard X. I was actually predicting him to come out with something else, I can't remember what, but I thought he was going to predict me to bring out my Heatran, so I decided to try to pull a fast one on him and bring out the Gardevoir instead so I could get a super effective move off. Now of course he Mega Evolves. I'm quite surprised he decided to stay in here, and he goes for the Will-O-Wisp. Now I've not seen Will-O-Wisp on a Mega Charizard X before. I've not really seen a defensive Mega Charizard X before either. These things are beasts, and most people prefer to run you know, a powerful fast attacking set. So unfortunately my Gardevoir gets burned, which is very sad, because this is meant to be my specially defensive Pokemon, and I have no way of recovering aside from leftovers, so the burn is going to cancel that out. He brings out his Ferrothorn, and I hit it with a Moonblast, hoping to, you know, do a number on the Charizard, but that does nothing to the Ferrothorn, and leftovers is going to bring it almost back up to full health, unfortunately. So I'm sitting here thinking, what am I going to do? You get some more chip damage off with the burn, and I decide to switch out. I decide this isn't worth it. I don't want to get Gyro Ball, so I'm going straight out into Heatran here. I'm going to try and get my rocks up, try and do some damage. Thankfully he protects, so I get a free switch hit essentially, and those leftovers are going to bring him back to almost full. And he withdraws here, probably expecting a flamethrower, and he goes straight out into the Tentacruel. Now this is not good for me, because as you'll see here, I'm going to set up my Stealth Rocks here. He can easily just rapid spin those away. I have no spin blocker, which is very unfortunate, so I have to switch out here, try to get a free switch into Brosif while he rapid spins. And he actually goes straight for the Scold, expecting me to stay in, which of course I don't, because I know it isn't worth it. And then he knocks off my Lumberry on Brosif. I am so angry. I've never seen knockoff on a Tentacruel before. That was very interesting, so I just decided to stay in and go for Scalds here, really fishing for a burn, because this Tentacruel is going to screw me over so badly. He switches out, he says it's not worth it staying in here. He goes straight out into the Charizard again, which I think was kind of a misplay. I'm not really sure why he did this. Stealth Rocks is going to do a number on him, and I can just go for a Scold here, which almost kills him. I know he's going to go for a Roost. I knew that straight away, but I'm not bothered by that because I have the Toxic. So I managed to get Toxic off on this thing, which basically will slowly wear it down over time. It won't be able to Roost stall me, that's for sure. So from now on I just feel free to go to Scolds on this thing. He decides to stay in. He says it's not worth it switching out. I'm just going to go for Dragon Claws. Fair enough, I'm not bothered by that. I'm just going to Scold you to death. Burn, baby, burn! So yeah, this guy is chilling. He goes for a Will-O-Wisp, unfortunately, which there goes the other part of my defensive core burned, which is really not ideal. I go for a slack off here. He goes for the Will-O-Wisp here, knowing that I have to slack off because another Dragon Claw would probably kill me. So that was a very good prediction by him. I should have been expecting that really and gone out into the Heatran, but I don't know, I just let it happen, which was a big mistake and is going to bite me in the butt later on, as you'll probably find out. So now he goes for a Roost again, getting that HP back, and I'm like, God, can't you just die already? So I'll just go for another Scold, stubbornly staying in, and the Toxic doesn't quite kill, unfortunately, so I'm going to have to stay in one more turn. He goes for the Dragon Claw again, and I think I go for a Slack Off again here to try and keep my HP. Oh no, I go for a Scold. I did not trust him to not go for a Roost, so I went straight for the Scold because I didn't want to risk him staying in. I'm going to get some more burn damage, unfortunately, but thankfully my Slowbro has Regenerator, so that's not the worst thing to happen, although it is rather sad I lost my Lumberry to that knockoff. So he brings off this bloody Jolteon, and he goes straight for a substitute. I was really hoping he would be the choice spec set because I was going to let Brosif go down here and get a nice safe switch into something else. Unfortunately he goes straight for the substitute and I'm like, well shit, what do I do now? This thing is behind a sub, I'm not going to be able to touch it, I'm going to have to go into something else. So I switch into Lady, who's my specially defensive wall, and I trace that Volt Absorb. Oh yeah baby, that's right. This guy tried to Thunderbolt me, and I get my HP back. How cool is that? I'd honestly forgotten I'd given this thing Trace. I thought I'd given it Synchronize instead, but that wouldn't make sense if it didn't activate earlier. I don't know. I forgot, okay? Shush. But yeah, I was like, oh yeah, I got my health back. And he goes for the Baton Pass. And guess what he goes into? That's right. It's the bloody Theraphorn. Damn it! And this thing is behind a sub now. Things could not be worse for me. I of course go stubbornly for a Psyshock, hoping to break that sub, because I was not expecting it to Baton Pass. I should have been doing, really. I thought it would be a Volt switching set and not a Baton passing set, which is why I stayed in. And this thing is just... that Psyshock did nothing. Absolutely nothing, and I am just sitting here slowly losing hit points. So of course I have to switch Lady out because I cannot touch this thing. I'm really wishing I put HP Fire on my Gardevoir because it cannot do anything to Ferrothorn. And he goes for the Leech Seed here. Not good. Unfortunately I have no Leech Seed blocker on this team either. I have no Grass types. I have no Pokemon with Magic Guard. Things are not going well. So even though I got that early victory with the Charizard, unfortunately now I am starting to wear down a bit. So I'm hurt by the burn. I decide it's not worth it to stay in because of the bloody Leech Seed, so I switch out again, go into Hot Stuff. Hopefully I'm going to break that sub. Actually I'm going to roar away here. And he goes for the Stealth Rock because obviously he's behind a sub. He's nice and safe. He's not going to get OHKO'd by the Heatran's Flamethrower, which is really not good for me. And he goes for a Leech Seed here as well, the cheeky sod. So really I can't do anything to this guy, so I roar him out to get rid of that substitute. And out comes the Dragonite, and thankfully the Stealth Rocks break that multi-scale, but he does get recovery from both Leech Seed here. Now actually I had forgotten that Heatran had Leech Seed here, had been Leech Seeded here, and when I saw that Dragonite recover HP I thought, it's Leftovers Dragonite, not a Weakness Policy Dragonite. That really ruined my chances right there. That is what lost me the game, is that play there. I had no... I seriously thought that Dragonite had leftovers, and you'll see what happens later on, because yeah. You'll see. So yeah, he brought out his Tentacle, I roared him out into his Jolteon. I'm still sitting here leech-seeded and slowly losing hit points. Really, I think about now is about the right time to switch out and stop losing damage. I go out into Jin, predicting him to use an electric type move again, and I eat that right up with Volt Absorb. And unfortunately at this stage I actually show him that my Jin has the Volt Absorb. And he does carry the Hidden Power Ice, so I get pretty much destroyed by the Hidden Power Ice. I decide to stay in and go for a Sludge Bomb, because I'm not really willing to switch my Pokemon out on this turn, because if he goes for a sub again I'm pretty much buggered, really. So I decide to switch out after seeing that Hidden Power Ice, and I go straight out into my Lady, my specially defensive wall. And what does he do here? I think he goes for a sub again. Or does he go for the HP Ice? Oh no, he does go for Hidden Power again, yes he does. So this is going to get a small amount of damage off on me, not too much, but that burn is, you know, slowly chipping me down here. But thankfully I've got that Jolteon down below half health. I'm really hoping to get rid of this thing, because it is a serious kink in my plans here. It's a real problem. I need to get rid of that thing. So I go out into Hot Stuff again. I'm thinking he's going to Volt Switch here. Oh no, he Baton Passes, of course. I keep forgetting this thing had Baton Pass and not Volt Switch. So he switches out, goes straight into the Conkeldurr. He gets Switch Initiative, so he gets the jump on me here. Now I know for sure that a Match Punch is coming, and I do not like that one bit, so I go straight out into Brosa to try to take that Match Punch. Now, unfortunately here, oh, he goes for the Ice Punch instead, predicting something else to come in. I think he was predicting Thunderous maybe? But yeah, I go out into Brosa. I'm like, well, fuck. If this thing has Guts, I really cannot go for a Scald here, or a Toxic in case it burns. So I go for the Ice Cream, praying for the freeze. Guess what, guys? I get the hacks! I was like, holy crap, are you serious? That had a 10% chance of happening. I am so lucky. So I know I can't go for Scalds here because it will thaw him out, so I just go for the Slack Off to try and recover some health, and then I decide to switch Broseph out to get some more Regenerator recovery as well. I'm just amazed at this point that I actually managed to get the freeze there. It was incredible. So yeah, I switch out. I go back out into Lady because I know that Conkeldurr can do pretty much nothing to her. So I'm just going to go for a lovely Psy Shock here, or no, I go for Moonblast actually, I think. I trace the Guts, not that that is helping because I do not have any attacking moves whatsoever. He's a special attacker. Yeah, so he switches out here, I think. He goes back out into the Ferrothorn again, and why wouldn't he? I cannot do anything to that thing. Can do literally nothing, and he's going to take this Moonblast like a champion. Oh, I go for the Psy Shock actually. I really shouldn't have done that because Conkeldurr is very defensive. Whoops, misplays. But yeah. So, I just, at this point I'm just like, damn it Ferrothorn, go away, no one likes you. Seriously, piss off. So yeah, he's sitting here chilling, I'm slowly dying, and I'm just like, well, Lady's gonna go down soon, so I may as well just try and get some damage up on this Ferrothorn. Try to wear it down to the point where another Pokemon can come in and destroy it. He Leech Seeds, and I avoid the attack, and now my gut instinct is really telling me to switch out now. It's like, this is fate, I should preserve Lady, I really should switch it out, but I don't follow my gut, and I decide to stay in and go for another Moonblast. And unfortunately he goes for the Leech Seed again, and manages to hit this time. So now he is getting even more HP back, I'm doing hardly any damage, and I think he's actually recovering HP faster than I am wearing him down, which is really not ideal. I am not even going to go down here to the Leech Seed and the burn damage. I was really hoping that I would, but I actually live on 2 hit points, I think. Yeah, two hit points, and I was like, well, shit. This is really bad. And then he goes for the protect, just to be a cheeky sod and get even more hit points back. And I was like, damn it, I forgot Ferrothorn gets protect. I forgot that was a thing. So yeah, I'm screwed at this point, really. I decide there's no point switching out. He may as well have his 1 hit point back. But Lady goes down, unfortunately, and Ferrothorn is sitting pretty, nearly back at full health again. So I'm like, well, shit, I'm gonna send out hot stuff here. Hopefully this guy will try to over-predict and not switch him out. No, he switches him out again. And he goes into the Conkelder because he knows I am going for a flamethrower. This play, guys, this play. Oh my god, I was kicking myself. Because the flamethrower thaws out frozen Pokemon. So the Conkelder has been thawed out. I cannot stay in with Heatran anymore on this thing. I'm no longer safe. So I have to switch out straight into Broseph again to take this Drain Punch. I'm kicking myself at this point. I've made so many mistakes this battle. And this guy just keeps outplaying me and outpredicting me. He is seriously such a good battler. He is levels and levels above me in terms of skill. So now he's going to go out into his Tentacruel because he knows he can't do anything to me with Conkelder. I go for a Slack Off just to get some hit points back, to try and mitigate some of that burn damage. Even though I'm above half health on me as well, because it's basically 3 hit points at this point. I get hurt due to the burn damage, of course, and I can't do anything against this Tentacruel, nothing whatsoever. I can't poison it, I can't scald it because that will do bloody nothing, can't use Ice Beam because that's resisted, so I go out into Jin, because I know the Rapid Spin is coming. I was hoping to Death Fodder this thing off and hopefully get some damage off on Tentacruel before I go down, because Jin is quite a fast Pokemon really. But he has the Protect. God damn it, guys! Protect! And I predict him to switch out here and not go for Protect because I went for Sludge Bomb because it's like, aha! He's going out into the Jolteon, isn't he? Aha! I will out-predict him this time. Nope! Nope! Because now I'm like, there's no way he's going to switch out because I'm going to go for Sludge Bomb again. Nope. I go for Volt Switch to try and do a sneaky one, and what does he do? He switches into Jolteon, turning my own play against me and gets that Volt Absorb back. He gets all that HP back, all my work earlier was for nothing, and I lose my Thundurus. I am just so frustrated at this point. This team that I'm against is just too powerful. There's no way I can break through that core. So I decide to go out into Goliath here, my Choice Scarf Terracross. He withdraws his Jolteon thinking I'm going to go for an Earthquake. He goes out into the... thinking I'm going to, well, I don't know, maybe go for a close combat or something. Goes out into the Tentacruel. I go for a Stone Edge here. I'm really kicking myself that I didn't go for an Earthquake. Really kicking myself because I think that would have killed possibly, or it would have been a 2-hit KO. But there's no way I can stay in there. I don't want to get burnt from a Scald, so I just switch out straight back into Broseph again. There's the Scald. Nasty, nasty. And he gets his Black Sludge recovery. I get burnt, and I feel like we've been here before, guys. I'm getting deja vu. He goes for the Protect again just to see what I'm going to do, see if I'm going to switch out or go for an attacking move. I just go for a Scald because I know that he is Protect now. I know that he's going to try and get one up on me here. So I'm really fishing for a burn here, praying. I go for another Scald again on his switch. He goes out into the Ferrothorn. I'm like, well, poop. Oh no, I go for a Slack Off, sorry. My bad. Yeah, I get that hit point back. I really wish I'd gone for a Scald in hindsight, actually, because if I got the burn on this thing, that would have been perfect, because it would have eliminated his bloody leftovers recovery. So, this Ferrothorn is probably going to go for Elite Seed again. All these switches I'm making really wearing me down now. I really wish I had a spinner on this team, but I don't, so that Stealth Rock damage is really starting to hurt. He goes for a Leech Seed again on the switch. I'm like, well crap, not this again. I'm just like, well, I'm gonna stay in, see if I can get close combat off, because Ferrothorn is, you know, killed by 2 close combats from a Goliath. Unfortunately, isn't a one-hit KO, but that's because Ferrothorn is so naturally defensive and bulky. He goes for the protect here, and I'm like, well, crap. He's getting more Leech Seed recovery. He's getting more leftovers recovery. Goliath is already almost at half health. It's ridiculous. So I switch out, and this was a huge misplay. I switch out back into Broseph. He goes for the Leech Seed again, and I'm like, are you serious? You actually predicted me to switch out even though I was already Leech Seeded. You actually predicted that. Are you serious? This guy is so good at making predictions, guys, seriously. Check out his YouTube channel, because yeah, I've seen some of his videos, and yeah, he's really good at battling. I wish I was on this level of skill here. He goes for the Leech Seed again, knowing that I'm going to switch out back into Goliath like an idiot. And he gets even more Leech Seed recovery back, and Goliath is nearly dead. And he decides at this point that that's enough. Ferrothorn's done his job. He's going to withdraw and go out into Tentacruel, because he knows that he can absorb more than 2 close combats on this thing. And by the time he does, my Goliath will be dead. My defense is going to drop, my special defense is going to drop, he's going to get his lovely Black Sludge recovery back. And his Leech Seed recovery back, and I'm sitting there face palming going, there's nothing I can do, why is this happening to me? Why? I decide to let Goliath go down. I go for close combat just to get some more chip damage off. There's really nothing I can do at this point. He goes for the knockoff here to see what item I was holding. And of course he sees the choice scarf from that. And I am really at a loss of what to do next, because I have no Thunderous to deal with this thing. I decide to bring out my Chain Chomp. This thing could have won me the game if I had played correctly, but I didn't. So I Mega Evolve into my Mega Garchomp, and I go for a nice crunch here because I know it will be a 2-hit kill. Some nice damage off, and he goes for the Scald, really hoping and praying for the burn. Thankfully it doesn't do too much for me, and he doesn't get the burn. I'm so relieved that he doesn't. I had my fingers crossed. I was hoping and praying. And he goes for the Protect here just to hope and pray that he could survive the oncoming crunch the next turn. With the Black Sludge recovery, he goes for a second Protect, trying to get that double Protect action, but he doesn't get it, thank goodness, and I go for another crunch, and finally this bloody thing is gone. Gonzo, goodbye Tentacruel, goodbye. I am so glad you are gone. Now he brings out his Jolteon here, and I'm like, uh-oh, incoming Hidden Power Ice, time to get out of here, because that thing will do a number to my Garchomp. I go out into Hot Stuff again, try and take the Hidden Power Ice. I'm still floating in my air balloon, and he goes for the substitute. He makes the prediction that I'll switch out again. And I think I was switching out far too much this match, and my opponent knew it. He knew that I was going to switch out there. I was playing far too predictably here. So he goes behind a sub, he uses a Thunderbolt, nearly takes Hot Stuff down. I'm sitting there on 5 hit points. I go for a Roar just to get that thing out of here, and out comes his Dragonite. And of course he can just go for a nice extreme speed here and bring down my Hot Stuff. Now I think another big flaw in this team is that I had no priority moves as well, so I couldn't really destroy anything with a priority move either. He goes for the Dragon Dance here. This is the worst play of the game and what lost me the match. I stupidly go for an Ice Beam because I think, right, this Dragonite has leftovers. There's no way it's a weakness policy Dragonite. I'll be fine. It has weakness policy. Oh my god. So I'm like, oh my god, what have I done? This is a terrible match. This is terrible. I'm obviously going to go down to an Outrage here. There's no way I'm surviving a +3 Outrage. There is absolutely no way. Goodbye Broseph, it was nice knowing you, and I have absolutely nothing that can outspeed this thing or stop it now. I am absolutely screwed. I have no priority moves. I have nothing faster than this thing because it's got a Dragon Dance up. He goes for another Outrage and down goes Chain Chomp. And it was a crit, not that that mattered. I was very dead either way. So yeah, that's the match. Thank you very much for watching, guys. I got completely owned there. That mistake at the end. I don't know, I actually don't think I could have won even if I had even if I hadn't used the ice beam there, if I had gone for a toxic instead of an ice beam, because I did nearly go for toxic on the track of night instead of ice beam, because I was like, am I sure it was leftovers? Yeah, it's leftovers, let's go for ice beam. Big mistake, big mistake. That'll teach me to keep track of things properly and actually pay attention while battling. But yeah, thank you very much for the match, Dijon. It was a really fun match. You are a fantastic, fantastic player. Please do check him out, guys. Link, like I said, to his channel is in the description below. Thank you very much for watching, guys. This has been Moon, and I will see you next time.